Gary Quill with the Racing Biz. I'm here with Kentucky Derby winning trainer Kenny McPeek. Does that ever get tired?
Nice ring.
You like that?
Nice ring. Yeah.
So I'm interested in the pre-Derby, I guess, game plan. I was interested in to see if Dornoch could actually get out.
Yeah.
And he didn't, and Mystik Dan actually outbroke him. Was that key, or you obviously didn't think that would happen?
That started on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, I talked to the starter at Churchill, Scott Jordan. I said, I'm going to bring him over there, and we're going to stand him for 2 or 3 minutes, because we know that sometimes the loading process can be complicated.
Sure.
And so we brought him over there on Tuesday. And then I said, and then Wednesday, we're going to bring him over there and we're going to stand him for a couple of minutes. And then we're going to pop him out, because I didn't want him leaving flat-footed.
Sure.
And so, so Wednesday, he actually stood him for 1:45. And then we opened doors and then shot him out of there, and then just geared him down.
Okay.
And I think that was a big difference. When Derby Day, when the gates opened, I told Brian, I said, just make sure he leaves clean, let him run to the first turn. And we were anticipating that Dornoch was going to go.
Sure.
And then I remember I'm standing near the finish line, and I saw Dornoch didn't get off well, and I said, oh no,
There goes that plan.
best laid plans here. But Brian did the right thing. Brian just dropped in front of him, because he took him out of the game.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah, he said, I'm just going to drop right in. I'm not going to let him back through. And then, so then at that point, we had positioning over Dornoch, and then it was a matter of just riding the rail. And Brian just did a fantastic job.
And so the rail was the game plan, to stay on it for as long as he could?
Yeah. No, we anticipated that we were going to be inside, and might as well stay inside. And he just, in that second turn, when that hole opened, he just did a brilliant job. It was the difference in winning and losing.
And at that point, leading up to the race, how Mystik Dan was feeling? You had all the confidence in the world, if he got the right trip, he could win the race?
Yeah, I felt like if we could get him back to a Southwest run, that we had a real chance in the race, and we did.
And his Arkansas Derby wasn't as bad as it looked on paper. He had issues going into the first turn.
He was wide both turns. He gave up a lot of ground on both turns. I really wasn't thrilled with the way that race unfolded, but he fought to get third, and I think he only got third by half a length. He wouldn't have even got in the Derby if he didn't do that.
Amazing things how the racing gods treat us sometimes. So going into the Preakness, obviously we're now down to an 8-horse field. Mm-hmm. Has the game plan changed with the exit of Moose?
Well, we jumped him yesterday morning. We gave him a little jump away from the pole in his gallop.
Okay. To
kind of refresh his mind, to show a little quickness. But once again, we'll leave it up to Brian. Brian knows him well, and Brian rides inside a lot. But how this race unfolds is going to be interesting. I don't know who the obvious speed is. Who knows? Maybe we are.
Yeah. Well,
if that's the case, then we'll let Brian decide that. I'm not going to overcoach him.
Excuse me. And the forecast looks like it could be in your favor.
Well, I don't think it matters if it's wet or dry with this horse. I think he proved that.
Okay.
At Churchill, it doesn't matter. He'll run in the mud.
Sure.
Or at least you don't have to worry about him not running in the mud. So.
Well, they typically call the Belmont is the test of champions, but the way horses are trained in the 21st century, the Preakness is probably a harder race, because you're coming back in 2 weeks. No?
I don't think so.
No?
No. I think since they've removed Lasix, it actually makes it easier. Yeah, and I don't think that horses are trained that much differently. I think that I don't think the breeds change that much. I think that win percentages are published, and so trainers get a little bit overly subconscious about win percentage.
Sure.
Which is not important.
Right.
For me, I don't worry about it too much. It's not unusual for me to run a horse back in 2 weeks. I've done it many times. I ran a horse back in 7 days last year, and graded stakes, and he won them both.
Well, and again, they're individuals, just like you and me.
They're not on Lasix anymore. I think it's a big deal.
All right, well, Kenny, thanks a lot for your time. We got horses coming in. Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.